Life is full of incredible moments, but we often never get to witness one. Thankfully, there are videos shot at the precise moment that help us witness some amazing incidents we could never have seen before. Take, for example, the time a baby who fell beneath a running train and miraculously survived, or the hilarious moment a man flying a kite got flown instead. Imagine riding a bike on the rim of a chimney. Wouldn't that seem terrifying? If you're up to watching some truly incredible videos, then check out these 15 unbelievable moments, which if it were not filmed, then no one would believe it. Keep watching till number 1 for something really puzzling. Fishing a tiger shark. When you go sea fishing, are there chances of you catching a shark? Not likely, because that would be 1 in a million. Which is why these guys in this video were lucky to have filmed an entire incident when they caught a huge tiger shark. In fact, it was purely accidental and a truly unbelievable moment because they weren't even expecting it to happen. Giant tiger sharks are common to the waters in the Bahamas, but there aren't chances of you catching one with a fishing line. These fishing enthusiasts were out bottom fishing in the shallow waters of Old Bahamas Bay Resort area. After catching a yellow snapper, they felt a little reef shark tug on their line.
Really hooked too. Look at that, guys. A yellow eye snapper. This is one of the best tasting snappers ever.
While trying to reel him in, they got the shock of their lives. Out of nowhere jumped a huge 14-foot tiger shark snapping at the reef shark at the end of their line. The giant tiger shark easily weighed around 1,000 pounds, and it was difficult trying to let him go. But if you thought that was exciting, wait till you see the next video. 7-year-old boy with super strength. Are you strong enough to move the furniture around your home? If that takes effort, then what would you say to the little boy in this video? Meet Jin Long from Eastern China. Now, this little guy must be eating all the right stuff because he seems to have super strength for his age. Jin Long is just 7 years old and can actually pull a car. Imagine that. Can you even push yours if it runs out of gas? But hey, take a good look because Jin Long isn't just towing the car, he is towing it with people inside too. Now that's a regular superhero for you. Jin Long's super strength has made him really popular in his community.
Most grown men have trouble with this, but Yang did it easily.
Instead of his father carrying him at this age, he can carry around his father. He even carries a heavy sack of rice on his shoulders, and from the looks of it, that could weigh easily above 30 kilograms. When asked by reporters why he's so strong, Jin Long replies, it's because he's fat. Now that's a laugh. Leopard enters home in Nepal. What if you saw a wild cat sitting on your porch or your backyard? That may seem frightening, wouldn't it? When wild animals venture into urban areas, there's a huge hue and cry. And while humans may act terrified, surprisingly, it's actually the animal who may be more scared. Check out this crazy scene in Nepal, where a leopard who probably lost its way wandered into a thickly populated area and started to run helter-skelter all over the place, dashing into tin sheds and leaping from one house to the next. The large leopard was first spotted on someone's lawn. It was found staring at a pet dog, which it might have eyed off as prey when the alarm was raised. The beautiful animal runs into a washroom and then darts out to run up a flight of stairs, finally hiding in a storage shed. Although a huge crowd gathers, some people had the good sense to call animal control, who cornered the leopard and tranquilized it. Thankfully, no one, man or animal, was hurt. While this was astonishing, the next video was amusing and an absolute scream. Kite carries man into the air. We all love flying kites and have most probably done so as kids. Kite flying isn't hard and the chances of you flying away with a kite are slim. But believe it or not, Ed Bird from Scotland was unfortunate to be that 1 in a million because his kite takes off with him instead. As hilarious as that sounds, Ed might have got the scare of his life when he tried to fly a kite. He may have been reliving his childhood, but what he didn't bargain for is the kite flying him. As you can see, Ed Bird from Scotland thought it was a nice sunny day to go fly a kite on the Scottish Highlands. At first, his kite takes off in the air, and for the first few moments, it was enjoyable. But then poor Ed is suddenly lifted into the air as a sharp gust of wind makes him lose control. He's bounced up and down and even dragged a few feet by the kite. Undoubtedly one of the funniest incidents recorded on video. 23-month-old drummer. How often have you wanted to learn an instrument? Playing the drums or the guitar can be cool, but what if it was a 2-year-old doing so? Wouldn't that look amazing? Check out this little guy. Howard Wong was only 23 months old when he could play the drums like a pro. An excited and cute-looking guy, Howard was videotaped by his father playing the drums to his favorite piece of music. It seems Howard has a natural affinity for music, and his energy on the skins is incredible. Howard has an amazing sense of rhythm, and according to his dad, has been playing the drums since he was 18 months old. Imagine that! His cues and the cymbals are spot on, and he also seems to be enjoying himself while delivering a flawless performance. When he was 3, he started giving live performances, along with his father at large malls. Today, Howard is 13 and has even developed his own drumming technique. He's now an internet star. Don't go away because boy, in this next video, have we got something in store for you. Man rides unicycle on a 256-meter chimney. Before you start watching this video, please don't try this at home, because what you're about to see is something that will freak you out. There are many people in the world who take their sport obsessions to the extreme, but Flaviu Cernescu keeps one step ahead of the rest with his daredevil performances. He's seen here attempting to ride a unicycle along the diameter of a chimney 256 meters high. For anyone with vertigo, it's enough to churn your stomach even just watching it, but for Flaviu, it's no big deal. The man effortlessly rides the unicycle for a short distance along the rim of the chimney, and that's not all. He then walks along a narrow iron beam laid across the open rim, at the same time juggling oranges. One small misstep and it's a fall 256 meters below. As if it wasn't crazy enough, Flaviu resumes riding his unicycle while even clutching his selfie stick in one hand. He goes on to perform weirder stunts like hanging with one hand and suspending himself in the air on his unicycle. Can you beat that? Paper plane hits soccer player. Watching a soccer match between two popular teams is one of the most exciting and boisterous activities in South America and Europe. In these parts of the world, soccer is a religion, but there can be some truly unruly events that take place in a stadium full of screaming fans. One incident that went viral was when a paper plane hit a player in the face. How was that possible? Well, it may have been a windy day in 2014 when England played Peru in an exhibition match at Wembley. It seems the match wasn't exciting enough, and fans resorted to their own entertainment. Some did the Mexican wave, and others flung paper missiles. While the press box also came under bombardment, one paper plane launched by a fan high up in the stands seems to have been carried by the wind and glided all the way to the field below. Amidst screams, claps, and cheers, the plane lands on the ground before taking flight again, this time hitting Peru player Hansel Rojas in the face. Fortunately, Rojas was not injured, but the incident was a viral hit. Wait till you see what wind can do in the next video. Don't go away. People blown over in streets. When Storm Ivar hit Norway in December 2013, it wasn't a pretty sight. Powerful winds battering the country stripped roofs off houses and even supermarkets. But fortunately, there weren't many casualties. When it struck, it caught several Christmas shoppers unaware, as shown in this video recorded in downtown Älesund, where people had difficulty even crossing the street. Älesund suffered the brunt of the storm with wind speeds of 43 meters per second. Cars were stalled, and people were blown around like Skittles. Policemen were also seen helping people get a grip to try and move around. While some could manage even though they appeared walking in a slant, some were not so lucky, like one man in the video who's blown off the sidewalk. It was the elderly, of course, that faced the brunt of the wind as the storm threatened to blow them away. It was fortunate that the police and ambulances were on standby to help those make it off the roads and out of the open. Ivar turned out to be a violent storm, but lasted only a short while. Baby survives being run over by a train. One of the riskiest things you can do is stand close to a running train whizzing past a platform. While that may throw you off balance, what if you found yourself thrown onto the tracks with a train rushing towards you? How would you rate your chances to survive? Believe it or not, but one baby in India did survive the onslaught of a train running its entire length over her. In this incredible video, you can see the baby lying on the train tracks crying as the train moves at high speed over her. The baby fell off her mother's lap as she was stepping off the train onto the platform. Miraculously, the baby survives the onslaught even as the train runs through the station with the baby unscathed. It was equally amazing that the entire incident was captured by a spectator showing the train speeding over the one-year-old baby in a railway station in Uttar Pradesh, a state in India. Screaming onlookers, including the baby's family, could do nothing but just look on helplessly. Check out the next video to see something you never thought possible. crashing into the ceiling by violent turbulence. Hearing the words on the PA system of an airplane, "brace for impact," can send shivers down everyone's spine. While it doesn't necessarily mean your plane is going to crash, it can be quite disturbing. The warning is issued during cases of extreme turbulence, and if you're used to flying, what's the worst case of turbulence you've experienced? In what seems to be a bad case of air turbulence, people are seen thrown off their feet in this airline's flight from Phoenix to Dallas. Seeing this video, you'll understand what might also follow if you ever hear the warning, "brace for impact" on a plane. The most terrifying moment was when one flight attendant was thrown with incredible force into the ceiling of the aircraft and then landed on top of others. While you know what brace for impact means, you won't believe your eyes what can happen when a wave machine malfunctions in the next video. Wave machine malfunction. Who doesn't like frolicking in a water park on a hot summer's day? Wave pools especially can be fun, but what if an unusual wave more than 10 feet high came crashing into you? Even worse than waves in a sea, a wave machine malfunction can be a nightmare. As you can see when this frightening incident occurred in Shuiyun, China. Tourists having fun in a water park in Shuiyun, China got the shock of their lives when the wave machine malfunctioned, unleashing a giant tsunami-like wave. The monster wave lifted revelers high in the air and traversed the length of the pool, even overflowing onto land. No less than 44 people were injured, even as the waves splashed violently onto those not even in the pool. The giant waves swept away swimmers like toys, and many suffered bruises, cuts, and possible broken limbs as they may have been hurled against the concrete edges of the pool. Of course, an ensuing investigation did take place, resulting in the closure of the pool. Baby laughing when getting haircut. As every parent knows, taking a child for a haircut can be a nightmare, for parents and the barber especially. The screaming, crying, and tantrum throwing can be traumatic. But then again, this little Chinese boy getting a haircut is the cutest thing you'll see on the web. He seems to be enjoying himself. The entire episode may have been filmed by his parents, who must have been incredibly proud of the little guy. As soon as the barber's clippers touches his locks, he bursts out laughing, which is so amusing you can't help but laugh too. It appears that this little guy might be sensitive to touch, which is why he seems to be feeling ticklish during the entire haircut. Finally, when it's done, he seems unfazed and is all smiles. Now that's one cool baby with a proud mom and dad. If this video made you laugh, the next one may just make your jaw drop in excitement. Keep watching. Mountain biking. Extreme sports are dangerous and should never be tried by non-professionals. While biking is an enjoyable sport, mountain biking is extreme, and only a daredevil would be brave enough to take on the challenge. As all lovers of the sport will know, the Mountain of Hell is one treacherous and long downhill alpine bike race done all the way in snow. The track lies along a steep mountain glacial slope starting from the top of Glacier Les Deux Alpes. A challenge for mountain bikers worldwide, the annual event sees hundreds fling themselves down the glacial slope on enduro bikes. The race soon becomes chaotic, with an endless sea of bikers hurtling down the mountain, many crashing and careening along the steep slope. But while there are hundreds of wannabe champions vying for first place, none can be as famous as champion biker Kilian Braun. In this video, the famous biker makes history with his winning race on the Mountain of Hell in 2018. Braun rode a record race on a 25-kilometer course that dropped down a staggering elevation of 2,500 meters across ice and snow. The Mountain of Hell is a challenge for even hardened mountain bikers, but Kilian Braun is a biker's hero. Cat gives massage. Everyone loves a good massage, and the feeling of strong human hands kneading your skin, relieving the stress and pressure, can be relaxing. But hold on, wait a minute. What if your masseuse turned out to be a cat? Would its paws be as comfy too? A massage at Elephant Nature Park is unlike anything you may have ever experienced. The unique nature park in Thailand is a rescue center that is home to several animals, including cats rescued from difficult and dangerous situations. The park organizes massage and spa services for its guests on a platform on the second floor. But what's so special about a massage? Well, unlike a regular open-air massage center, this nature park allows its tabbies to roam freely amongst guests. Don't be surprised if you suddenly feel paws all over you, just like the man in this video. While getting a massage, a huge gray tabby appears out of the blue and takes over as a masseuse. It appears to be making all the right massaging moves and proceeds to perform what appears to be a very skillful massage. Now, how awesome is that? Camel eating cactus. What if you got a pine cone in your mouth, or maybe a spiny cactus for that matter? Wouldn't that make you go, ouch? Pine and cactus needles are sharp, as anyone who may have been poked by one will tell you. But while a human may be too tender for the likes of a cactus, a camel on the other hand thinks nothing of treating it like a tasty morsel. In this video, there's a bowl full of cactus, and the needles look large and sharp. A cactus with a 6-inch needle will easily injure you, but not this camel. This dromedary just slurps the cactus all over before taking it into his mouth and having a good chew. If you're wondering how this is even possible, well, you should know that camels love a pokey and spiny cactus, and for them, it's quite a treat too. A camel's mouth is lined with papillae that prevent any damage from cactus needles, which end up flowing in one direction down the animal's stomach. Moreover, camels have much harder palates, which why a cactus for a camel is nothing but common food. Now that's an unbelievable moment, shot at the right time too.